If you have given the chance to start your life over at age 11 right now, but still keep all of your current knowledge and memories, would you? Why or why not? Lol, are you kidding? I would do unspeakable things for the chance at a do-over. I have a shitton of regrets. Honestly, I wouldn't even try to exploit my knowledge of future events for money. I'd just try to avoid fricking up the things I have fricked up. Honestly, I wouldn't even try to exploit my knowledge of future events for money. I'd just try to avoid fricking up the things I have fricked up. You just spoke to my soul. I'd be one cynical 11-year-old. Do I get the option again once I reach my current age? I'd hate to go back, make things worse, and then be stuck like that. But I'd love to sign up for a multi-decade Groundhog Day scenario. I could win so many middle school arguments I've replayed in my head for years. On one hand, it would be great timing because my mom married my awesome stepdad when I was 10, so I wouldn't have to worry about making sure that happened again. I'd be able to explore more hobbies while I was young and really change my life for the better, along with help my parents invest better and survive 2008 better as well. But also, I will probably alter the course of my life so much that many people who I have met, I probably never will. Maybe I'll meet other interesting people instead. But still, there are some friendships I wouldn't want to give up. This, often fantasize about starting over, but I'd probably advance myself in education at such a rate that I'd have to hold myself back and go out of my way to attend the same university where I met some of my good friends. Yeah, OFC, I would get a chance to actually make friends, hide that body properly, and not get bullied, plus huge stock market gains. Apple stock and bitcoins would make me incredibly rich, and I'd know where to find my wife a few years earlier than I currently did. Win-win. Heck yeah, a healthy 11-year-old me, all that potential and knowledge about myself and my strengths. I could run that school, avoid the bad people, avoid bad injuries, make good choices, avoid the bad exes, and invest in Bitcoin and bet on Leicester City. I think Leicester, Trump, and Brexit winning in 2016 were much better odds than 5000-1. No, I don't have the patience to grind those levels again. 22 levels of tutorial is a bit much, but imagine if you could go back to level 11 having already completed it once. You could pretty much bypass the rest of the levels and finish the tutorial at level 11, which is pretty much impossible unless you invested all of your starter points into intelligence. Easy. If you have a spouse or kids, don't do it because your family will never be the same, or rather, has a super low chance to be the same. If you are alone with no higher attachments other than your parents' friends, then it's a go. This pre-baby maybe I'd have gone back, but now it would mean she doesn't exist and in all likelihood never will. Yes, I'd have another 12 years with my dad again. If I have to go through everything else all over again to have him back, I would. Yep, for knowledge of future events is great money-making potential. Hello Biff. Yes, but really so I can spend more time with some people who have died. My dad died when I was 18. Definitely would go back to spend more time with him. No, I like my life and my family. If I am taken back to when I was 11 I might frick up something in between then and meeting my wife and then we might never get together. The constant knowledge that I could mess something up at any moment that would forever alter the life I once had would probably drive me insane. Thus altering the life I once had and drive me into a feedback loop of insanity and sadness that would end in my suicide. My wife and I went to middle high school together so it would have been maddening trying to stay away from her for years for fear of fricking it all up. No, I wouldn't be able to live with my parents for another 7 years. I hated growing up in my house but I would gladly do it all over again with this knowledge I have. I never would have joined my parents' stupid cult, which really set a difficult trajectory for 20 years of my life. Yes, to do even better in school and take more advanced courses. As your typical former gifted kid, I would have more appreciation for my ability to do well in school and take the advanced courses. If I had a do-over, I'd also focus on getting more real-world experience so I wouldn't have such a privileged view of education. In a heartbeat, Without a single regret, I'll memorize the numbers in a couple of lotteries, because nobody will believe me for the first one, need a backup, and convince my parents to send my sister to military school to stop her from becoming an addict dealer and going to prison. It's a difficult question because I wouldn't want to abandon the people currently in my life. Pretty much the reason I'm a yes. Absolutely, I would fix some of my mistakes, play sports, play in band. Also, there was a girl that I met in late middle school, and as absolutely dumb as it sounds, I still have a thing for her, but I never told her and she vanished before I could do anything about it anyway. But still, I'd have loved to have had a chance with her. Also, in general, I would try to be a better person. I would try to not be the little crap I was. Oh, and I wouldn't get fat. Oh man, I can relate on all of those. My fat butt would love another chance. Number. Some of my worst years of depression came soon after that, and I cannot live through that again. Also, I'd lose so much progress with my art. I'd still have the same skills, but I would lose a lot of art pieces and my webcomic. It says you have all your knowledge, which means mentally you would still be the age you are, so chances are there'd be no depression and you'd be able to become an art prodigy, and if you know your webcomics well enough you could recreate them, possibly fixing any flaws you have with them, which I'm sure every artist does, and make them better in the long run. No, for a million reasons. I met my best friend at 14. What would it be like to meet her for the first time with a 26-year-old brain? We'd never be able to connect. And on that note, what about my first girlfriend? It would feel disgusting to get romantically involved with a high schooler if I still had my adult brain. Plus, I would have to watch my dad die again, but this time I would know about all the disgusting things he did that my mother didn't tell me about until years and years after he died. That would be a nasty crock of emotions. Plus, I'd have to do high school again. The more I think about it, this might just be what heck is for me. Not only these people, but this will happen with most people you interact daily with. Imagine you would have to talk to 11 years old the whole day. Yeah, I would. This time I could save my best friend, and she'll be able to grow up and be the beautiful person she was before her early death. I found my boy cat on the street about 9 years ago. He was a tiny dirty ball of fur and disease. It was cold outside. If I hadn't been delivering pizzas to that specific house on that day, he would have probably died. As much as I'd like to change the course of my life, I could never risk losing Murray to the butterfly effect. Similar for me, my life has been crap, but going back would likely mean never meeting my cats. Plus my niece and nephew never being born, but mainly the cat thing. I have thought about this often. Part of me would love the opportunity, but I would miss my 2 children too much. Same. It would be almost impossible to recreate the situation of meeting my husband, and even if it went perfectly just as it did before, it's a 1 in a billion chance the same sperm hits the egg. My children would be gone. 11-year-old me would not be able to handle what I currently know. I'd rather spare my preteen self heartache, rejection, despair, depression, and all else that we as adults deal with. If I went back, I'd rather be clueless and innocent. Look at this guy with his happy childhood. I wouldn't. I've accomplished so much, and don't want to lose it all. Plus, school would be very boring. It would be hilarious to go the next 10-12 years telling everyone I know that Donald Trump is going to be the president of the United States, and then the look on their faces when he becomes president. That's 26 years of having extra knowledge and a leg up. I absolutely would. You know what? Number. While there's plenty in my life that I would love to have had not happen, or avoid dating individuals who hurt me or were a detriment to my advancement in life, I'd be bored as heck doing all of what I did over. I have an amazing wife now. I get to play video games whenever I want. I work IT sec from home 100% of the time and can enjoy my hobbies. Honestly, life is so good now. Even when something does go wrong, it's not a big deal, as I am happy with what I have in life now, and if I had to relive it all, who knows if I would be where I am right now with different opportunities, etc. Low-key flexing on us. No, but seriously, good on you. I wouldn't if it weren't for this one moment in my life. 11 years is exactly what I need to stop my mom from marrying my stepdad. Somehow I knew I didn't like the guy and he would turn out bad in the end. But after 9 years of loneliness, I wanted my mom to feel loved and to love again, so I didn't tell her how I felt then. He turned out to be narcissistic B and a total Scrooge McDuck. He even kept the receipts from when I bought a single candy bar. The day I opened a drawer with a ledger marked spent on jet junk, I knew I wanted out. I moved away 2 weeks later after I told my mom I didn't want to stay. This was when I was 14. I stayed at different relatives each time, 2 years tops. My mom sent me money every month and tried calling me every day, but I was mad at her for not knowing the man enough before marrying him. I lived off scholarships and never used any of the money she sent me to this day. I sometimes call her to make sure she's okay and because I still think the world of her. So yes, if there's any chance of that whole timeline not taking place, I'd kill for it. It ruined my life for the past 9 years and lost me my mother. Of course, no one would suspect an 11-year-old for a murder. Work in juvie? Yay, we would. Hard pass. There's for sure some sketchy devil dude twirling his mustache and some fine print I didn't see. Number. I just married the love of my life and it was pretty random that we met, so I don't think it would have happened again. Also, he is 8 years older, which is fine when you're 30 but downright creepy when you're 11. Lift a bit and beat the crap out of the whole bully gang that destroyed my childhood. Being strong doesn't in any way equate to being a good fighter. Far too many people have this misconception. Get the chance to not waste my youth chasing after unobtainable girls, get properly diagnosed before failing out of every class, and spend my time doing something I actually enjoy. Yes please. I don't want to study again. I know this time it'd be easier, but either double as frustrating to live with low income. I'd go to Stephen Hawking's time traveler's party. Go back to before depression? You betcha. No way. Before depression would be the worst. You know it's coming, so you are going to be a cynical butthole as the world has already crushed you. I would rather go back to the day that mental illness started to ruin everything. I would know what meds to be on and what the best treatment would be. Frick yes. I would improve so much. Work out a lot more in my teens and just do so much stuff I regret not doing. Plus invest in Bitcoin. Hard no. Too much relied on luck for me. If this is a frequent shower thought for you, I highly recommend Everything Matters by Ron Curry Jr. It's a really great book that plays with this idea. I have lots of regrets, but I'm also extremely happy with my life now. If I could live things over again, make fewer mistakes, and still end up with the same wonderful woman and kids, then maybe giving it all up to try again? No thanks. I am confused. So, do I go back to 1987 with my current knowledge, or do I wake up tomorrow as an 11 years old with everything I know? If it is the latter, it would be terrible. What about all my property, my job, my friends, my son, and so on? If it is the former, I appreciate the opportunities to achieve the riches, but there are a lot of things that would be impossible for me to dodge, no matter what I do. Also, I would not have my son. Given what I know about my ex-wife, I would avoid that lady at all costs. Which of course sucks because I love my kid, so I guess it does not matter. In any case, the answer would be no for me. I'm assuming you go back to the year with your current knowledge. Yes, since I would be moving that following June. I actually did 11 months after I turned 11. I would try and get better grades in 7th grade and done better in 2 classes in 8th grade. I would also use my current knowledge about YouTube and try to make better quality videos for my channel. Yes, gonna save some lives. Put the right words in the right ears and people will listen. Got a friend who died of cancer whose leg and life I might save if he gets taken care of early. Might save my wife some pain, her family and education. Might even manage to save a lot of lives and money, WRT the USS 9/11. Am I 11 right now, or 11 again back when I was 11 in 1991? Good point. Frick yes, I would go back and dominate middle school and high school, both socially and academically. Then I would punch Greg, F that guy. Then I would actually do something with my life. You have been spotted by the money pigeon. Comment gimme and he will bless you with good fortune. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.